Hello, my friends. Today I make a short tutorial about Ableton, how to produce a bass line and the drums for a good sound. So now I'm in the program. You push the button tabulator. And then you do three things at the start for a good program start for the track. First of all, we do the speed of the track, setting that as first, taking it off a Goa track. That means from 140 to 135 to 170s proggy. And now I'm gonna show you a prog bass line, an easy way to do it. So continue to watch for learning. So now we have it about around 140 BPMs. Then that's the first thing, the speed of the track. Second thing is the storing, the store, how to store it. That's about to do here. It's all in German, but I'm doing the video in English because more people can understand it. Let me say tutorial video here. So that's the second thing. Store is the second thing, and the speed is the first thing. And the third thing is the limiter, putting the limiter on the mastering line. So you do double click and then it's inside the box here down. That's a classic limiter. Here on the main, that's the mastering line where everything comes together, and you put in the end the export through this line. So now we start very easy. You can see here dark gray and hell gray parts. So here it's more light gray, and here it's more dark gray. So that's actually how you start a track, and that starts at the beginning. You can scroll here on the bottom line, and then the rhythmic starts here, the takt, also the rhythmic. So we start not at the start for the bass line, we start about more than 50 seconds, around 50 seconds we start. Then you go also always on full lines, in this way lines, upright lines, not the vertical lines. So you click here in it, one click, then you zoom in with controls, so control and the wheel in the mouse, you zoom in and out. So we go very deep in, yet you can see this with 33 basically. Maybe you start at 33 with the bass line, and then it's here at 33.1.2, 33.1.3 and 0.4. So you can scroll here, and now you start at a full rhythmic. You start with a boom, that's the kick, you know. That's how bassline gonna get created. You give here quicken in, and then you go to everything, alles. Here are the kicks. I have very much many sounds, many samples, many kicks. As you can see, there are way more kicks than at other people who don't buy extra sample packages. Here are the sample packages, here from to here. So I have kick, we start with the kick, and that's, we go to the doof psytrance. I'm gonna get a listen. Going to listen now. It's always important with producing that you always repeat and listen all time the same sequence of the track, and then you can change things. You can make good sounds with always repeating the sounds. You need to repeat the sequence for changing a sequence or upgrade it. Here we have kicks. This sounds not bad. So I'm taking this one, putting here on the top line. You can just drag it in and then zoom a little bit out. We have here one hit, that's one boom, from 33 first to 33.2 and 0.3 and then 0.4. So you are making now four hits, four booms in one go. So you're gonna put here a loop on it. You just gotta choose the area you wanna loop. Here that's one rhythmic, a whole rhythmic here, 440, 4/4. So you're gonna chase it, and then you push the buttons Ctrl L for loop. So you're gonna have this all set it up here, and this is a sample line, and this is a MIDI line. You know, you can click in to get the line chosen. You know, then you do here on one whole hit. You're gonna choose the area of one hit, then you do Ctrl D 3 times, then you have here on every hit one kick, and that sounds already like this then. So now you're gonna do adding a bass now, electric, little bit electric bass. You just type in a bass, and you can go to everything, honest, scrolling down. Maybe you're just gonna push on something to listen to it, to hear it, to deciding which sample you want to use. That's a whole sample, a melody sample melody. So I'm never taking sample melodies for a bass. Maybe it's a drum loop, sample loop, it's that melody. I never choose a sample loop for bass. I only take a single bass and do my own bass line melody. So you can also look around, and here it's a single bass, I think, as I may know. Oh man. But it's not like a gore, not so much gore bassline sounding. Yeah, then we go to the sample packages maybe. To find a proper bass sample, bass shot, bass sample shot. We go to rewind samples, that's a bought sample pack, and you go to the tonal shops here. That's the loops, the sample loops of a bass, which are a whole bass line in one, already finished produced. And here it's a single bass, a shot. This is a single bass shot. This is a single bass shot. You know, hey, that's like this. Then you can scroll down or up. You can chase the sample, and then when it's highlighted with this white color, you can push the button 1 for adding it to favorites, not highlights, favorites. You push 1 and then it's stored here inside, you know. And we go back now to the base where we were. I'm always gonna listen through at the beginning, so you're gonna learning how to find the good bass, you know. That's not bad. You're taking this one for this how-to tutorial. So we put it into our track with pull it in, and then you pull it for proggy, progressive, pro music. Always, most times, not always, most times, right after the hit, the kick hit. So you can also only highlight and looping this area, so you have one kick and one single bass shot here. On the right half, on the left half is the kick. Then you can always tap into the place where you wanna play your song to listen to. So now I wanna start here listening normally, logically. So that sounds already like a bass line now. If you're looping this area with one kick and then the second half the bass, that's called offbeat. So now we're gonna listen shortly to it. Very easy. Then you're gonna chase the area, you're gonna choose it, the area where you wanna duplicate, which you wanna duplicate. Then you push the buttons Control and D to duplicate it. So Control D, the area which you wanna duplicate, you push the buttons Control D for duplicate, duplizieren. Then you can always, in music it's like it goes up from 8 or 16 hits for one short section. So I now do this highlight and I highlight this area, and then I Control D, doing the loop, making the loop bigger, and then you can already play it. And that's so easy. For me, it's nearly blind thing that I do. And you already have this, just this. And that's about 3 to 6 minute work. So now we put some effects on it to make it more clear and more drive to the sound, making it more clear, more intensive, more power behind. And then we do also a design chain, which gonna highlight the whole bass line from the track, which is important in psytrance or proggy in general, high tech. Yes, it's to stand out. It has to stand out. It's the heart of the track, it's the bass line, And then to get everything smooth together, you can highlight the area you wanna put together in the line. So then you click Konsolidieren. Then you have a whole sample melody. Yeah, so it ends here smoothly to flat because there is no music of the bass. And then it starts here, always smooth. So now it's time for effects. You go here, deleting this, then you go to audio effects. Then for bass, the most important effect for bass is an equalizer. So we go here and we have many effects. We push here by EQ8, one push on it, and then you go here, the down, foldering, it's fold down and open. So you see here many EQs, and here you see kick EQs. And now we need a bass EQ for bass. That's mostly the modern bass or the electronic. The electric kit EQ is basically something where you have the modern bass here, electric modern bass, electric bass vintage. So you double click it, and then you already have it in this box down here. This box. And to get to this box is when you double click on this cube. Oh no, that's wrong. When you go to the punching hand, double click it, then it's open up the sample here, and this is the important view over the line of the audio line. So you have here the gain, that's the decibel. Then you can make it here in this area louder or more quiet. And double click on the middle, it's gonna reset 1-0, but it's not 0 on the 0. This is not 0. That's the normal, like you have it here, the normal volume, like we have it here inside by where you search it. Now here you can make it louder in this side. Some interesting settings here, and then we have the transpose. It's the transpose down here, and you always have to press the warp button. So what you do now is you're gonna use an audio effect by pressing on this cube where the color is here, this cube on the right side. Then you double click on the effect you wanna put on. Push here, and then you can hear it. I always wanna say that's important to check it before you go further with the track. You have to check the effect of it fit of it if it fits. It has to fit before you do the next step, or putting another EQ. Now you can activate or deactivate the EQ by pressing this yellow bullet here or here. So now we turn it off and listen to it. And then you can put it on, and so it sounds like this. Off. On. And then the vintage. Or not? I think so. It sounds better. And have it like this, it's more like not so much volume of the sample. It's not so much volume and less size, This is the equalizer with the hertz. So normally a bass equalizer starts high and then it falls a little bit down and goes continuously further. But here we have a cut off on the equalizer. You can still change the points of the equalizer. You can also double click it and it's bigger view on the equalizer. So you're gonna turn the sound on. You can click into the frame to stop the motion of the soundtrack. Then you can always push Control Z to go one step back or more steps back if you push it more. So then you can click in, hold it, click in and press play, space button. Then you can do it different when you move the numbers here. 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then I also always, it's not for every bass, it's different, it's different equalizing, always different. You maybe also, that's a setting of a normal bass. So maybe you're gonna change it and make it unique, It's important that the bass is good or great and standing out from the rest of the track. So now you hear it again. Then you can move the bullets here. you have the limiter down here in the main line, the mastering line, it never overplays you unless if you do extremely loud lines, you're pushing it up here to a 6 every line, it maybe gets in the red scale here in the main section here, down here it's in the back, on the right side in the back, two upright what should I say, two upright symbols here, two long cubes. So when you have the limiter here, it never overplays you unless you put everything on maximum volume, you know. Here it's always set to -6. So now you can see it's green down here. You put this up to 6, this up to 6, and more lines up to 6. It's simply gonna overplay and gonna be too loud over the decibels you wanna reach for, but the track needs to be as loud as possible, as powerful as possible, and you reach that with the limiter and utility effect. So you get it at the point where it nearly gets red to have the peaked loud volume for a real soundtrack, you know. Now we have the bass line already. You can also do one effect to the kick, but here we have a vintage EQ. We try another effect, we call it the, which we need gonna choose here, a good one to show for a kick is maybe, what should we take? We take the compression system effect. So you can put it up or down here with this triangle. As you may hear, the first kick sounds much powerful than the second and to the last one. That's not good. Then for this you just make the whole kick, the first kick, less loud by getting in this box overview. Then you make it less loud, more quiet. You're just trying out to go a little bit down. Then you hear it again if it's the same volume like the other kicks. Get in front of the track that the kick is louder, the first kick before the drop here. You're gonna be the intro in this area here, gonna be the intro. Then here's the first main part with the bass line and some breakups inside of the bass line. Then now here maybe comes the second main part and then the outro. Really small outro. My style is a small outro, not big melody outros. Yeah, I'm getting out of a track. And so now we talk about the sidechain. You do that with a compression system by clicking the triangle on the downside here, putting it out, depressing the external, and the source you're gonna chase the bass line, the bass, and the same with the other line with the bass. You go with the bass here in this box section, then you open it again, external, and you're gonna choose the kick. You have to put it together, then you can see how it sounds, how powerful it gets. Now the kick is already louder, I try again. Why is it like this? It's the same, maybe you have to fade it more at the beginning. No, it's really too loud for me. I'm just gonna make it less loud. Clicking here inside, you're gonna -6, -6. When this kick, you cannot check it like this when the kicks are rolling. The first one will be always louder. You have to check it from here, from before the bass line. Still too powerful. You can also use a glue compression system effect for that. Here going to the audio effects, type in glue, then it already come to the glue compressor, putting it in by double clicking. Then you're gonna choose it, then you put the threshold a little bit down so the cursor here starts to move, the line here. The cursor was moving just a little bit, then you can make it soft and turn the makeup up. It sounds like this. Put it down. Now it's best loud. Like this, you check it again. No, like this is not good, you know. It's too intense. Not bad for the volume, but the makeup is too much. Something is special, I don't know. It's like an echo or a hollow. Wait, if you do it like this. Yeah, it's because we faded too much here. Now it's better. And again with the bass line. It's because the bass sounds the bass sounds a little bit more. It changes here the volume of the kick, but that's a little problem you can fix at the end. Maybe you don't even need to fix it now. It was special for me because I couldn't fix it on the first go, so we gonna do the next step for a good bass line like my style. So we have the kick and the bass, the side chain, like we did here. But yeah, you can do now the next step. I do the next step, and that's by doing the heads, the hi-hats, the claps or snares, and maybe, no, that's enough. Claps and hi-hats, it's enough for first time trying to produce. That's enough. Then you do here the hi-hats, hi-hats, I need hi-hats. So then you go to everything, then you scroll down a bit, just push it in somewhere, push in somewhere, then not so much. There's right different, maybe you have to put this out, then you have a lot more, you see. So then you go to everything, scroll a little bit down, looking on the texture. Then we take a single shot, single hi-hat closed. And it has to be short and edgy. That's short, you know. As you can hear. So now I do the fucking MIDI spur now by pushing Control, Shift and T. One of the other. One on another. Control, Shift, T, MIDI spur. You add a MIDI spur. Spur is not English. Spur is German. MIDI line. So then you, how to edit, quick. I show you quick how to edit. You first of all you push on the cube above where you want to set the next line under the line of the bass. Basically you put the hi-hats down by double click on the cube, one line above the hi-hats you want to put in. Double click here, search the hi-hat, double click on the hi-hat, no, wrong, here, double click on the hi-hat, then it's then it's inside here, this box, in the cube and in the line it's the hi-hat. Then you do double click here where you wanna write the melody. Then this window opens down here. Then you can make it bigger or smaller, more together or more open, with scrolling left and right by holding it on the left mouse click. Then you go to here, you can enter with the loop, but most time I don't produce with a loop. The main loop is already activated on 16 hits here, and now you're gonna choose it here with the punch hand. Then you press duplicate, and then you can write the hi-hat melody. So now maybe we gonna set now the sound scale, here with major or minor. Now we do a little bit minor, is more like sad songs or drama sounding, tragical, horrible, or deep or bad, or going into the deep side. So then you're gonna put here minor, then you do C minor, then you see here down there are some purple painted sound lines here, the sound scale from C to C, and it's very big scale, goes from very low to very high. So it's C3 is the normal, the middle of the sound line, sound scale. Then you push here the headphones to hear it when you click it. So you double click it, you put it away, and if you double click it, you can also put the sample in. So you have here one hi-hat, then you can do on every second upright line, or every second box you can hear add a hi-hat, and it's fast hi-hat. You can always choose the area you want to duplicate, and you Control D to the end. Then you can also play, hear it. Not bad, I think, but now we can make a melody a little bit of the hi-hats. You're gonna chase the area, maybe put it higher. As you hear, and then you're on the purple painted block here. You're in the sound scale, where you on the right sound scale of this C minor. Then you have here higher and the lower hi-hats. Then you maybe do some more hi-hats between the first hi-hats. Put it here, here. This one are different, like the others. Then you can hear it. Then you do this same height as the other here. You can do it everywhere, basically. Here, also here, and here. Then you're gonna duplicate them, Control D. Then it sounds like this. Good, now you have the hi-hats. Then we put a clap. Control Shift D. First Control Shift D to add a MIDI line. Then you're gonna search what you wanna add to the sound by searching for it. Yeah, now it's the clap. You right clap. Also a short clap is better, more fitting to the sound, music style. Short clap without a halt. You can scroll, or you can take it off your own sample packages. And then you go to the one shots as always. That's a short one. Pull it. Now we do it with the MIDI line I told you. As I told you. Double click inside. Deactivate the loop of this orange area. Then duplicate. Double click on the sound you want to add to the big sound, the whole track. Then you push double click to the top box of the line with this push punching hand. Then you're gonna see here this sound scale. So then you're gonna try to find the right height of the sound of the samples. It's a bit higher than C3. Maybe like this. You can also Ctrl C, copy it on the same place. And then you can move it down or up on the same note. Then you have two claps on one hit. Like this. And then you're gonna put it on every point 2 and point 4 here. Point. You're gonna duplicate it like this. Ctrl D, and then you have a bass line as you are looking for. Then you can duplicate the whole thing. After 4 you maybe do a short breakup. You're gonna duplicate it again, but with the break like this, and then you have around 2:30 minutes. Then you can make the loop bigger with this sign here, smaller or bigger. Then also for the last thing we do in this video is making the melody of the bass. It's also possible with a MIDI line, but now we do it with the sample line, storing it. Store it with Ctrl S, Ctrl S, you store it with Ctrl S. Then you're gonna hear. And it always needs to be in warp mode down here. And then you double click it on the time, on the line, and pop off with the punch hand. Then you do here the transpose or pitch, as they say. You maybe take it, that's an A major here up, A major, but with a minor track that doesn't matter so much if it's minor or major, it's not a sample. You can make a minor track with a major sample and like this. Then you maybe going to from A up, it's A, I's, H, C. Then you maybe make from, can look here, what's the tone, the sound scale, it's here from an A, here we're on a B. A is even not in the scale here highlighted with purple, so we change the whole bass one up, making it one higher, then it's on H or B. Here you can see it's on I's. No, it's on no, after A it comes I's, and then H, but we have it now on I's here. It's good, it's in the scale, the letter. Then the next we're gonna make even sound more down, putting it a little bit down. You're gonna look again, here it's the eyes, then you put it maybe to F, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down on the scale. then you go to the bass, put it here. Here was it on the first part here, was it on 1, then you have to do here also 1, and then you just count 5 downs with the up and down buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it's -4, and then it sounds melodic. Then you can put it one more down on the third, 16 hits. You was on 4, now you do it on 5 to get it sad track or deep track, and it sounds like this. So that's the video. I wanted to show you how to make a bass line with drums, adding, and now have fun, respect other people which can make music. It's a great art, and I hope you enjoy it and have a good productive day. You know, my English isn't the best. I try to make it on English because I can learn English better and I can bring it to everybody in the world. My tutorials and sound stuff and everything. So have a good evening, enjoy the week, and stay productive. Productions by Robinsunik. Peace out.